Hey guys, welcome back to Ruta 22's channel. Right now, we're going to talk about the fourth week of Easter, but it's been 5 weeks. Can you guys believe that? 5 whole weeks. All right, but nevertheless, today's lesson is called Steal the Sheep. Steal, like rob or take? But that doesn't make sense. Let's look into it. So, let's talk about what we're gonna do today. We're gonna do 4 things. First, we're gonna talk about what happened last week, so you need to know that. Then we're gonna have a story time of what happened this week. We're gonna have a craft, and then we're gonna end it. All right? How does that sound to you guys? So, who remembers what happened last week? What was the story? Anybody? Yep, you're right. It was the road to Emmaus. So, who can remember what happened? Try not to look at the screen. Yep, Jesus appeared in front of 2 of his disciples, telling him everything that happened and how they were sad. And he told them so many things about the Bible, about prophecies. And then they found out that it was Jesus, but then he disappeared. Well, this week also has to do with Jesus. So, the verse of the week comes from John 10:10. It says, "The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full." So, we'll see how this relates to the story. So, what was the story, right? Steal the sheep. Well, Jesus was in town one day, and he was telling the story to many people. It's called a parable. He said, "There is a shepherd with many sheep. The responsibility and job of the shepherd is to take care of the sheep, no matter what." Right? And so there's a little door that the shepherd enters, and that's how the sheep know it's the shepherd. But there will be thieves and robbers who will come in, like that little fox or that little robber, who will try to come inside through the sides and not through the door. Jesus said only the shepherd enters through the door, and the sheep will know that it's the shepherd. So do not fall victim to these robbers and these thieves who will try to come in by the sides, for they will lead you astray and not show you the real path. So Jesus is like our shepherd. He comes in through the door, and he is our only door. And there's many people and things that are like the robbers, but Jesus casts them aside like they're nothing, because that's what he does. He protects us, and we must follow him, because he is our one true Savior. So what's the verse about? Jesus is telling us to never stray away from him. He is our one and true shepherd, and nothing can ever or will ever keep us apart from him. I know these are really hard times, but we have to remember that Jesus will always be with us and is always going to protect us, no matter what happens and no matter what we go through. All right? So, now it's time for the craft. All right, guys. So, let's get into the craft. So, what you're going to need for the craft are toothpicks, glue, scissors, pencil and paper, then some colored paper, and finally some cotton balls. Alright, so let's get into it. Alright, so for the first thing, we can put the colored paper aside. It doesn't really matter what color it is. I have it as light blue, but again, it doesn't really matter. Just put it aside. The only things you'll really need right now are pencil and paper. Okay? So as it pertains to the lesson, we're going to be drawing a sheep. Okay? We'll speed it up right here whenever I draw it, but just try to draw your best sheep. As if you don't get enough time, pause the video and just finish it for the next step. Alright? Once you've drawn the outline for the sheep, you can shade in certain parts so it looks a bit more realistic. Okay, like this. Okay, once we're done shading, it should look something like this. If we're done shading, we're gonna draw another one. So I won't show you guys again, but pause the video right now, draw another sheep, and we'll get to the next step. Alright, so now that you've drawn your second one, your second sheep, we're gonna start cutting them out. So just take it from the top, it doesn't matter where, but I like to cut it from the top, and then just start cutting. Okay, so now that you've cut out 2 sheep, right, it's gonna have 2. Okay, so on our thing, we're gonna put WWJD. What does that stand for? Well, it stands for, what would Jesus do? So what would Jesus do so that we can keep on following him? How can we be like him? How can we be close to him? Right, so one example is we can go to church. So in the middle of your sheep, write WWJD, and then write something that Jesus wants you to do so that you can follow him easier. I'm gonna say, let's see, WWJD. Be nice to my parents. So now, grab your cotton balls and grab your glue. We're gonna put cotton balls all around the sheep, but we're gonna glue them on. Okay, now that you have both sheep done and cotton all around them, we're gonna grab the colored paper. So let's move this paper out of the way. We don't need it right now. We don't need it anymore. Really, the only things you're gonna need now is toothpicks, colored paper, and the sheeps that you've made so far. So, grab 3 pieces of colored paper. If you don't have colored paper, just draw on regular paper with colored pencil or a marker. Alright, so now that we have our sheep cut out and our cotton balls put around it to feel like wool, we're gonna take the toothpicks and colored paper. So for the colored paper, you want to have one like this and the other 2 like that. So it makes one really big rectangle. Then we're going to take one sheep, put it there, another one, put it here, grab our toothpicks, open them, and then once you've grabbed a bunch of toothpicks, like that many, right around this much, they can fall out sometimes, so if they fall out, it's okay. You will need a pretty good amount. And now all we're gonna do is we're gonna put the toothpicks around the sheep, like so. And then finally we're gonna leave one space here because this is the door, like that. This is the door and this is where Jesus comes in through to save us. He is our shepherd and we are the sheep. Yeah. Alright. Well, that was a craft. Thank you guys. Try to recreate it as best as you can. Okay guys, that was the lesson for the week. I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay safe, stay inside, be nice, and WWJD. What would Jesus want you to do? Remember that for the rest of the week. Bye!